And joining us now on Left, Right and Centre, our newsmaker of the day, the man who's playing a big role in India's digital payments movement, an achievement recognized by Time magazine when it named Paytm's Vijay Shekhar Sharma as one of the world's most influential leaders. In fact, Mr. Sharma joining us this evening from Toronto. Thanks very much, sir. Toronto is some 9 hours behind us, but glad to see that it's some sort of reasonable time there in the morning. First and foremost, of course, it is a great honor. What was your first reaction when you heard about it?
I think it truly is one of the you can't do anything about kind of honor where I do not know how Time magazine picked up, and I truly believe that they are very nice and kind in this case. I read what Nandan wrote, and it was truly incredible, and I was totally surprised, and still today I am totally surprised on this. So my reaction has been, I am surprised, and it is a little bit of overplay of the effort that we've done. I still believe there is a long way to go, but this is a very early on, such an incredible acknowledgement is totally surprising.
What does this really mean to you, a recognition of this kind?
I think I love the part of the company of people I'm in now. I mean, it sort of put me into the list which has had Steve Jobs, which has Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and obviously our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is there. So incredible list, I must say. I mean, the sheer peerness of the list is such extraordinary that I believe there is a lot on our shoulders now, and I wish that we come up to the expectations that the world is looking up to us.
Right, you mentioned that endorsement by Nandan Likani, the man behind Aadhaar. How do you see this debate around Aadhaar, privacy concerns, security issues that is now playing out here in India? There have been concerns, similar concerns around digital wallets and all of that as well. How do you sort of see this debate?
Look, any technology system will be secure or insecure, continuously evolving secure. There is no doubt about it that any technology system will have its own incremental things to do. But at the same point of time, if we are choosing a driving license to be called identity, we must be called storage people. I mean, so Aadhaar is a many times ahead identity proof in the world. And I believe that it is much better than using a driving license or ration, which can be so easily duplicated, and spelling errors to everything else can just make you someone else. So I'm a total believer in Aadhaar platform, and I do understand there is a lot of debate around privacy, which is a different issue. I mean, identification is what Aadhaar is. Privacy is what a different topic is, which is why we in India have cases where SIM card cloning, telecom operators using your call records, banks sharing your data, when you go into a mall and put your phone number on a register expecting that you will get a free offer. All this is a privacy concern. So privacy is a overarching large agenda that India has to look at. But Aadhaar as identity, I'm totally believer of that system.
Okay. Okay, we're talking about security concerns. Data theft, of course, has been the point that you make. Data theft has been a concern. Recently, there was a scam that was exposed, which showed that people's data was selling as less as 20 paise. So those concerns, of course, remain, but no system can be entirely foolproof. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Sharma?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think if we were to trust that there are systems like card companies traditionally been built, I think, look, bank system can be hacked, and card payment systems have been hacked many a times, and obviously there can be compromise in any payment system or any technology system. Does it mean that we should go back to the place where we come from? I think we have to continuously, incrementally do the correctness. And remember, the hackers are one step ahead. If man has built something, it's like a chartered accountant who reads the tax law and who can always say, oh, I find out this space here, we can sneak out of that space. So that doesn't mean that we should not continuously build incredible building blocking tech system. Exactly the same way IT systems come up. There is a lot of learning that IT systems do based on what is happening around, and then they implement it, and then there is a new kind of gap that comes in the system. Yes, it's a perpetual race. But going back to the paper, I mean, just think about it alternate, I'm saying again. Just think about it. Do you believe that you, Natasha, would be identified by a driving license, which can be so simply be cloned and just so simply be taken, and then someplace you have a bank account opened in your name with some photo that your social network had, and the driving license that could be faked, and any other ration card that could be faked, and now there is an obligation of a bank account in your name, and somebody took away your check and just cleaned it up. So that is what I believe is good about Aadhaar, that it is truly an identity platform. There is no doubt about it. There is absolutely not an inch of doubt about it that we need a superior privacy law in the country, because now the more and more digital means, more privacy topics will come into the topic. Otherwise, we were not even bothered about it. I just want to tell you, I remember 2001 to 2010, telecom operator knew where you sleep, whom do you call, who SMSs you, and nobody bothered about that privacy data. I'm concerned about that privacy data because whom are you calling, whom are you texting, who is calling you at what hour of night? This is a publicly available data, and a lot of companies just by reaching out to a call center agent could get this data. Now that is a scary part. Look, privacy is a debate which is an overall large debate, but we should not victimize Aadhaar of the privacy issue there.
Okay.
But coming.
Okay, fair enough. Now, you didn't stop, of course, at just your mobile wallet. There's a payments bank. That's the next big step for you. What's happening on that? There were some deadlines that perhaps have been missed. So what's the progress on that, Mr. Sharma?
Yeah, I think a payment bank is one of the most embarrassing deadline topic for me personally, because we've set this deadline probably 12 times and we skipped them 12 times. So this is one of the places where there is, my understanding of the regulatory process has evolved. And well, we are expecting that as soon as one last confirmation comes, we've got whole board approval coming in, and we have few more executive approval coming in, and we are good to go. And now it is not in our hand. At the same point in time, everything else, technology, NEFT, etc., kind of systems are in place. So we are just waiting for one last approval, which should go ahead, and we are good to go.
Interesting that you would say that your understanding of the regulatory system sort of improving. That was obvious. Next question then is, India figures very poorly on the ease of doing business. That is a rank of 130. How do you believe that we can improve that?
I think the government has taken incredible steps that we should stop everything where there are more and more approvals coming in, which are redundant approvals, form fillings, which are redundant in cases. I've seen it in many spaces. That said, regulatory system has nothing to do with ease of doing business, because regulators have an obligation of running a sound system for the country, which I think is a personality of Indian regulator. And they are so much to be rewarded that all across the world you can see it, whether it is insurance, whether it is banking, whether it is telecom, regulators have been very much pro-consumer. So keeping regulator role apart, we can just simply say this here, that ease of doing business means that filling less form, getting less approvals, and quickly getting processed. That is what I think government is working on, and I truly believe our Prime Minister is in the list out there purely because of his resolve to do things, and that is why Time magazine, even after consecutive year, have chosen him as one of the influential people in the world.
Okay, perhaps. And of course, one of the aims of the Prime Minister has also been, apparently we're told, that to move India up some 40-50 rankings on this. But, the startup space, much celebrated in India. We had days devoted to entrepreneurship. This year's begun on a very rough note. In fact, even last year wasn't very smooth, but this year's begun on a very rough note. We saw the founder who you supported when he was arrested for not paying his vendor. There have been issues of sex harassment. There's now talk of major acquisitions by some big players. Your company's name invariably keeps coming up when there's talk of acquisition, whether it's from e-commerce or another wallet and so on and so forth. Why do you believe the ride is turning out to be so rough, and will things get worse before they get better?
I think this is like startups are moving on from their toddler stage to teenage stage, and this is, they have to learn the rules of the world growing up. And it simply means startups are getting mainstream, and they need to concern about a larger concern, not just about their hustle of business model. So they need to bother about all sorts of organization issues, including payouts, including taking care of women employees and taking care of all other interactions. So I think it's in a way, it is just an acknowledgement that startups are becoming a mainstream companies now, which is in a way what was supposed to happen anyways. And these are growing up pains. And I believe that as far as the other startup story is concerned, this year we will definitely see net more money invested in India than last year. Which is again a good story. I mean, I think I would say that Indian startups are coming at a scale, and they're getting more money and recognition in the world, and that is what we should see this. Obviously, companies are maturing too.
Okay, that would of course be a great story. Like you're saying, this is perhaps part of the evolution of the startup space and India's entrepreneurs. Vijay Shekhar Sharma, many congratulations, and thank you so much for your time on Left, Right and Center this evening. Thank you.